Butterflies. This is your girl, Sharon K. Griffin, aka Madam Butterfly. Welcome, welcome, welcome to One on One with yours truly. Again, I just launched my book, 134 Reasons You Can't Find a Man. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today. But I have a very special young lady that's gracing our audience today that I have some familiarity with. She's very wonderful. She was in my organization as a mentee, Grow a Girl Network, and she's a supermodel now. Yes, honey, yes, she's a motherfucking supermodel. She's all that in a bag of chips. But she's married, she's educated, and we're going to talk about her relationship with her mom, and also something that I know her for, and that's cutting. Yes, in the Black community, a lot of times we don't want to talk about cutting and suicide, but it's happening more and more within our young people. So I want you to, chip in, chime in, ask questions. She's the expert. I was there to help guide her with other mentors. And we're just going to have a really good time communicating with this fabulous, beautiful young lady. And again, her name is Shaquila Ellison. Hello, sweetheart.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am wonderful. You're just as beautiful as you used to be. You're just grown now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always remember your beautiful hair and just your smile and everything, right? So tell my audience about you and who you are.
I'm 26 years old. I live in Atlanta. I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I am currently a student at Georgia Piedmont Technical College, getting my degree in interdisciplinary studies of applied sciences.
Yes, honey, yes.
I'm going I'm going into the field of criminal justice, working with juveniles. I am a model, just upcoming model and motivational speaker.
And I am so very proud of you because a lot of people counted you out as a young woman. And I remember those days. I remember getting the phone calls sometimes late at night regarding you and you wanting to harm yourself, whether it was cutting or trying to commit suicide. So I remember that. And to see you now, I'm just like, man, she's so awesome and she made it. How does it feel to have made it, to still be here on earth?
Awesome. Because
Nice.
looking back now, I feel like I faced those struggles in order to tell my story to somebody else and help someone else.
Yes.
And that I had a purpose. I realized I had a purpose to go through all of those things.
So tell us the struggle that led you to where you wanted to commit suicide and when you were cutting.
I had been dealing with a lot of problems with my biological parents in general. I was raised by my grandparents for majority of my life since the age of 2. My mother and my father, they were both non-existent. And when I found out about them, I pretty much felt really unwanted and unloved. And I was dealing with a lot of bullying and teasing from kids at school, and dealing with that at school and dealing with that at home. It just caused me to act out. And
Right.
I was a very angry kid, very just angry and hurt, and felt unwanted and unloved.
But you know what? A lot of kids, even now, feel that, and I'm so grateful that you want to do public speaking, to tell your story because your story can actually save someone else. So in telling your story, like how deep would you go? Because obviously the pain was so deep for you. I mean, to cut. So like Explain that pain to me and the audience.
Um, I felt very worthless. Um, I felt like no matter what I did, I wasn't good enough.
Okay.
Um, it just seemed like, yeah, I was a straight A student. I had all this going for me, but a lot of the times people would only focus on the negative things that I had done in life and not the positive.
Okay. Well, I know one positive or lots of positive things you did. You came to Grow a Girl like all the time. And I don't know if you were like forced to come, but you were there and you were present when you were there. You got on our nerves, but you you were there and you were present and you were no different than any of the other young ladies, to be honest, because there were so many struggles, you know. But I do remember as we're chatting, we had boy issues with you too. What was that all about? Like, you're grown now, so you can tell it all.
I mean, I was, I. Oh my God, I'm gonna
You
spill.
were sexually active too, right? At that time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
So,
had first became sexually active, I think, a few months after joining.
okay. How was your first experience?
I
And
mean,
well,
being,
okay.
being the fact it was my husband, it was nice.
Okay, I mean, he's your husband now.
Hmm.
But you know, a lot of times with young girls, they hype it up for us like, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, how was your first experience?
It hurt.
Okay. Yeah, like no one tells us that, right?
No, it hurt.
It did hurt. Did you bleed?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah. Like, but what I love about your story is that you're married to him now. So how that happened?
Oh Lord. Okay, so I'm really not sure myself. Um,
Because
we
that was a long time ago.
we were winging it, like,
Okay.
um, in because it, like I said, this was in high school. We started around high school, and
Okay.
we fell off a couple of times in between the next couple of years.
Okay.
After college, he had came back from college.
Okay.
I ran into him at KFC. He was an employee
In
there.
Hinesville?
Hmm.
Okay.
And he was an employee there. I came to come get some chicken, and from that point on, we realized we were still friends on Facebook or friends on
Okay.
social media in general, and we just started texting a lot. We would
Okay.
text every now and then. He would ask me, "Hey, how are you doing?" and check up on me, and I would be very dry because
Okay. Okay.
there was a point where I had been through something previously
Okay.
with my child's father that I just was very turned off from men. So by
Okay.
the time he came back around, I was just very like, mm,
So wait a minute. All right. Now when you say you were turned off from men, right? And
mm.
I have to say this. Someone said, wow, look at how beautiful she became as a grown woman. So obviously that's someone that knows you. But you started dating girls at one point. I remember that on Facebook.
Hmm.
Okay. So why'd you start dating girls? Like how that happened and then back to men?
Um, honestly, my girlfriend kind of cheated on me with a guy,
Hmm.
and I think my husband, I started messing with my husband again shortly after her,
Okay.
and that's where it kind of went back to,
To him.
yeah.
So, all right. Explain this because I talk to a lot of young people, and you know me, I've never been judgmental, but I like to ask questions. So, you were with your current husband, but he wasn't your husband then. So, how'd you transition into dating a female? Like, was it something that you always wanted to experience?
It's
Like,
something I would say this. I was, I guess, always attracted to girls, but I
okay,
never really acted on anything with them. I
Okay.
may have kissed like maybe one or two, but I never had fully
Okay.
gone into a whole relationship or anything like that.
Okay.
Um, I realized that I had been into girls at the age of like maybe 14.
Okay.
And I became open to trying it shortly after high school. And I was like,
Okay.
hey, well, I'll dibble and dabble and see where I go.
Okay. Okay. So, did you like the experience?
Yes and no.
Okay. Because I imagine this is me, like women are very emotional, right? And
Mhm.
then having two emotional people, it just seemed like it would be like too much emotions going on. So,
Yeah. Like, and I don't know what it is with females, with women, but
okay.
I know I turn my emotions off when it comes to me being with a woman versus me
Okay.
being with a man.
Okay. Why?
So I don't know. I that part I really don't understand myself.
Okay.
I just know that I was always a tomboy growing up and I had very boyish ways.
Okay.
So when I was
So you
dating
were like
as
the
a
guy in
woman,
the relationship.
yes.
Okay. Were you one of those dominating women? Because I see those relationships and I'm like, oh, that's the man. And, I automatically assume, I don't know, that the one who assumes the position of the more male-like is the more dominating one. I don't think that's true, but
I was the dominant one, but you could never really tell looking on the outside, looking in.
okay. Okay. Now, did you stay in your femininity?
Um, yes.
Okay.
I
Okay.
still had my feminine moments, you know what I'm saying? But I was more the manly one when it came down to my relationships dealing with women. I was always
Okay.
the one that, no, take that off. You're not going nowhere in that. I don't know where you think you're going, but you're not going nowhere with that.
Really? So you were like jealous.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like a woman's body is very, very beautiful,
Right.
very gorgeous.
Okay.
And I'm the only person that's supposed to see that. You know what I'm saying? As far as all your other goodies. And I just can't have you out here just revealing everything to everybody. And that's
Oh
supposed
my
to
God, you
be me.
sound just like a man. Oh my God. Anyway. Now, does your husband do that to you?
Hmm.
And
But
you're okay with that?
I don't even wear revealing clothing. But if
Okay.
something is too tight, he'll tell me to take it off. I'm not going anywhere. Or he'll.
Really?
Mhm.
So, are you free to be yourself as a young woman, or you kind of, I hate this word, submit to him?
Um, I submit on certain things,
Okay.
and I'm free to be myself majority of the time.
Okay. You just know what not to wear.
Hmm.
I haven't gotten there yet. Maybe because I cared like back then, and now I don't like care at all. Like I'm gonna just be me. Maybe you'll grow into that. I don't know. But okay. So how'd you switch back from dating a woman? Oh, she hurt you, right?
Hmm.
And then you were like, shit, I'm going back to the men. I'd rather be
Yeah,
hurt by a
pretty
man.
much. Because I ended up learning a lesson that just because it's a woman doesn't mean
Okay.
she won't hurt you the same way
Okay.
a man would.
Wow. That's true. And I think most people would think opposite. So that's very interesting. Now, I want to get all in your business, right?
Oh no.
Yes, I asked you about topics. I said, is anything off topic? But if I ask you something and you don't want to answer, please just say, I'll pass or, you know,
Hmm.
give me the middle finger, whatever it is. It's okay. I still love you. Okay. So I've never been with a woman. So like your experience, your first sexual experience, because I'm assuming you had sex. Like what was that like and what is it? Why are you shaking? You used to do that at Grow a Girl. You know that? I remember that.
The whole leg thing. It's
Yes.
keeping me still. You know, I still have kind of. I
Okay,
don't want to
okay.
move around.
Anxious. Okay, well keep
Yeah.
shaking, honey.
Awkward is the word that I would describe it to be. Awkward.
Is it awkward because you don't know what you're doing or you're like,
That
Okay.
It was my first time dealing with a woman, so it was
Okay.
very awkward because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if I was
Okay.
touching her right, and I'm like, if I am I hitting like am I touching the right spot? Am I doing this correctly?
Okay.
You know, I wanted to make sure I was doing what I needed to do to please her, and I wanted.
So how'd you get pleased? Like, do both people get pleasure?
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know. Like, so I asked all kinds of questions as they come in my head, and then we're going to go back to, some other stuff. But I was just kind of curious about that because you went from boy, girl, boy. But the crazy thing is, I don't think I ever knew that part about you. And I spent a lot of time with you, and you stayed over my house sometimes. I remember that. So I never thought that, you know. So I mean, it's all good. You do what you do. So does your husband know, and what are his thoughts? Or did you guys ever like do threesomes?
I've asked him about threesomes. He doesn't want to. Um, and I'm okay with that. That's just a
Mhm.
boundary line that he doesn't want to cross. He's actually okay with it. We actually look at women together.
Okay, okay. And I understand that. So are you still attracted to women in that way, or you're like, I'm married, this is it, I had my husband?
I'm married, I have my husband, but I will give a woman props on her beauty at the same time. I still believe
Okay.
that women are beautiful creatures.
Okay.
We run the planet. So,
We do. And the crazy thing is, I believe that women are beautiful. And I've said this on a live before that if I could do it all over again, I think I would have went to school to be a plastic surgeon or a cosmetic surgeon because I love bodies that much. And I would like to sculpt a body to make someone feel more beautiful.
mhm.
And the fact is, with my husband, I actually watch women too. I'm into shapes and things like that. Like I said, I've never been with a woman. I'm not attracted to women, but I love beauty. So speaking of beauty, how'd you land the gig with the company regarding the natural hair care line, the Intense Roots natural hair care line?
Um, I had actually met Mrs. Taylor.
Okay.
If anybody is not familiar with Mrs. Taylor, she's the mother of the famous group Taylor Girls.
Okay.
And I had met her at PetSmart. I had just got
Okay.
a new puppy and she was shopping for her dog.
Nice.
And I had a conversation with her about dog toys.
Oh, okay.
And I had ended up buying her a toy for Prince, which was her dog at the time.
Okay.
And she had left before I was able to give it to her.
Okay.
And one day, out of the blue, I got a direct message from her asking me to do a photo shoot for her hair care line. And she said that she
Wow.
loved my hair. And
Okay.
not a lot of women wear their natural hair, and she wanted to instill that into women.
Okay. That's wonderful. So walk me through that process, the day of the photo shoot, and because I know you have to get hair and makeup, and so walk us through that because there's so many young women aspiring to be models and do different things. But what was your process?
Um, the morning that I woke up that morning at around like 8 o'clock. I had to be the hair to makeup by I think 12,
Okay.
and I had a lot of hair.
You
So
have a lot of hair now.
I
And
have a
audience,
lot of
this is
hair.
her hair, okay?
I have a lot of hair, and so I had to hurry up and get in the shower, wash it because she already wanted it washed.
Okay.
Um, go ahead and use the hair care products that we were using to go ahead give it a curl, define it,
Okay.
whatever we needed to do, and
Okay.
then by the time I left, I think it was like 10:30. I kept calling my friends back and forth before I left for like a good 45 minutes. I was almost
Okay.
late.
Okay.
Um, I would put on this shirt. I would ask them how it was. They're like, "No, that's ugly. Take that off." Or one would say, "I'm like, I don't. Well, how does it look?" So I had to change. I kept constantly changing outfits. I was just panicking.
Okay.
Eventually, I went with the outfit that I wore, which was a blue kind of see-through jacket with a tank top
Okay.
underneath,
Okay.
some sunglasses on my head, blue jeans, and some boots.
Okay. Okay.
It took me about 30 minutes to actually get there. Even though Atlanta's an hour from me, it took me only 30 minutes to get there. I kind of sped.
Okay,
I
okay.
should have got a ticket, but I didn't want to be late.
Okay.
So I arrived in downtown Atlanta um, on, I think, like Murphy Avenue. I believe it was somewhere over there. And I went to the venue, got my makeup done, and I met
Okay.
a few other ladies as well.
Okay.
Um, we got our hair and makeup done by the same artist.
Okay.
And then we met Mama Taylor there as well. And
Okay.
she got her hair and makeup done. And then by the time Mama Taylor was done, we had eaten a little bit because we all hadn't eaten all morning. So she decided
Okay.
to bring us food on the way there.
Okay.
And then by the time we got to the photo shoot, there was more food that she had out. And we
Nice.
followed her there.
Okay.
So I was the second car behind her driving. We got there like less than 5 minutes down the street.
Okay.
And when we walk in, it was like a big, huge, like giant T-Rex bush over in the corner
Okay.
in front of the white canvas in the back.
Okay.
And I got nervous. And the only reason why I got nervous is because I hadn't done this before. But
Okay.
the craziest thing about it was I remember y'all telling me from the program, you
Mm-hmm.
need to let that confidence shine through and stop being so nervous.
Right?
You better do it, and you better do it good. Because I think it was the time. I don't remember if you. I don't know if you remember, but when
Okay.
we did our pageant
Mm-hmm. I remember the
and
pageant.
the preparation it took for us to have enough confidence to walk in front of people,
I remember.
the teachings that y'all were instilling in us at that time
Okay.
kind of came through my head, and
All
I
right.
eventually just let go.
Oh, that's beautiful. See, like we did something in your life, you know. So, okay, I'm pat on the back for all of us. Okay. So you get there and you're in front of the camera and I know you have to pose. And how was that experience?
It was fun. I actually had a lot of fun working with them, and they actually were kind of surprised at how well I actually was able to pull off some of the poses that they were asking me to do.
Okay.
I did tell them before the photo shoot even started, before they started taking pictures, like, you might have to coach me a little bit, but
Okay.
we gonna get this right today.
Okay. Okay. Wow. So that's awesome. I am so proud of you. You know, because looking back then, and me leaving, I guess I was, dealing with my own set of whatevers. And then coming back and seeing so many of you, all of you are shining. You know, some of you have kids, some of you are married, some of you are entrepreneurs, you are in school. So it's just wonderful to know that our work really meant something and that you guys kind of carried it and became productive young women. But I want to talk to you more about mother-daughter relationships. And the reason that I want to talk to you about that is because so many young women are having problems or had problems with their mothers. And we generally don't talk about that, and people shy away from that. So tell me the history between you and your mom, like once you found out she was around, and like walk me through that, the hurt, the pain, all of that.
The history between me and my mom was a very rocky one.
Mhm.
There is a fly in here. My husband had let one of these things in here.
It's okay.
um, it was very rocky from the start.
Okay.
I was the one, I feel like, more pushing to have a relationship and build a bond with her.
Okay.
And I feel like the vibe that I got from her was more nervousness than anything.
Okay.
Being unsure about it.
Yes. Now, are you saying you feel like she was unsure if she wanted to have a relationship with you? Her daughter. Okay. Keep going.
Eventually, I think what ended up happening is she agreed to try, And so we started trying to build a relationship. But there were a lot of things that I would say, as far as like her behavior and her illness concerning, and just sometimes just the way that she would talk to me, that kind of
Okay.
broke it.
Okay.
And we would end up fighting and arguing.
Okay. Fist fighting or just arguing?
We fist fought once.
Okay. And you're still alive? Okay.
we
You're
fist
still alive.
we fist fought once, and it was a mess.
Okay.
Um, I think the only reason why it happened one time is she kind of pushed me to a breaking point where, for the first time, I actually wanted to commit homicide on somebody.
Okay.
Um, I am disappointed to still say that to this day, that I actually tried to kill her.
Okay.
But it was in order for her to understand, like, you do not know me. You are
Okay.
my mother, but you do not know me. You don't understand. You don't know what my breaking points are. You don't know what my limits are.
Okay. So on that day, what was the argument like? Because it had to be an argument of something to make you want to kill your mom.
Um, I believe it just started with me coming home. She had already been in a foul mood that day,
Okay.
and I was kind of just shying away from her because she was testy, and I didn't want to push any
Trigger
buttons,
her. Right.
say anything the wrong way.
Okay.
So that day, like I said, I just came home from school, and I had gotten a ride home from a couple of friends because I had missed the bus
Okay.
to get home. And I walked in the house, and she was mad at me, and she was like, "Why are you late?" I said, "I missed the bus. I caught a ride with a couple of my friends. I text you. You didn't see the text message." She was like, "Oh, I didn't know you text me."
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. Next time I'll just call you." And it started from her and my stepfather arguing. And
Okay.
he came downstairs. They were arguing. They were into it. And I was just like, I don't really deal with that in the house.
Okay.
I tend to like shy away from it.
Right.
So
The energy.
I asked my mom if I could leave to go to a friend's house and spend the night at her house.
Okay.
Um, that night I left. I went to a friend's house. The next day, I have no idea why she was so angry,
Okay.
but she had threw my belongings outside,
Okay.
and I was kind of confused as to why. And so I walked in the house, and I wanted to talk to her. I'm like, "Hey, what's going on with you? Like, are you okay? What's wrong?" And
Mhm.
I don't even remember what she said to me, but it angered me. And I shouted at her, "You don't talk to me that way."
Okay.
And it just triggered from there. The fight, as the argument escalated into an actual fight where I tried to push her down a flight of stairs.
Okay. Now, have you guys made up since then? Like, what's the relationship now?
We don't speak.
Okay. Do you feel bad about not speaking, or you feel that that's a safe place for you?
I feel like it's a safe place for me right now.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll eventually talk again, but
Okay.
right now I'm okay where I'm at with her, not speaking to her at the moment.
Okay.
Her energy for me is just
It's tough.
very negative. Yes, it's very toxic, and I don't want that around me at the moment. She's the only person in my life right now currently that puts me in a bad space.
Okay. Okay. Now, does that hurt like deep down inside? Because I know a lot of times when children don't have relationships with their parents, that really hurts. And a lot of times people put up a guard, to protect them from being hurt some more. But if you took the walls down, do you really wish that you had a relationship with your mom?
Mm, No,
Okay. Why not?
because I honestly feel like if it was destined to be a relationship there, then it would have been there.
Okay.
And I honestly have the best relationship I possibly could have with someone who loved me just as a mother should.
Okay.
That is my grandmother. I
Okay.
have a really good connection with her, and there's nothing that she won't do for me.
Okay.
And I feel like what I lost, I gained in somebody else.
Okay. That's deep. And that's deep because most young people do want to have a relationship, but I understand you wanting to stay away from the toxicity of the relationship so you don't hurt or anything else. So, how's your grandmother's relationship with her daughter?
Worse, they
Is
don't
it
talk either. Like
okay?
literally, the rest of like majority of the family do not talk to my mom. They don't talk to
Okay.
her, and it's
Okay.
just based off of what she has done to me. They don't want
Okay.
anything to do with her. They don't want a relationship with her. They don't speak. They haven't talked.
Wow.
It's been, I'm 26 years old. It has been 26 years since they've talked to her.
Really? That's a long time. So, I know you have a beautiful daughter. What's her name?
Jordan,
Jordan. So will Jordan ever know that she has a grandmother outside of her great grandmother?
I'm kind of nervous to even bring her around her.
Okay,
Um,
because
because of, I guess, what I've experienced with my mother, I kind of just, I'm very overprotective of my own daughter.
okay,
So I kind of just don't want that type of energy around.
okay,
Um, she knows about her, yes.
okay,
But as far as meeting her, it's totally her decision if she wants to eventually.
okay,
I just right now, while she's under the protection of everybody else in my roof and in my home,
okay.
just stay away from my mother for right now.
Got you. So how do you plan to be different from your mother with your daughter?
I encourage my daughter. Um, I'm always there for my daughter. I call and talk to my daughter on an everyday basis.
Okay.
Um,
Does she live with your grandmom now, or she's just there, or she lives there?
she lives there with my grandmother right now.
That's nice. So you could finish school.
Yeah, but I maintain my relationship with her. I check on her. I make sure she's doing okay in school. And when
Okay.
my grandmother tells me, "Hey, she did this, and you need to get on that,"
Okay.
I do what I need to do still as a parent, even though it's kind of long distance right now.
Okay, okay. So what led you to the decision of letting Jordan live with your grandma?
Her father,
Okay. Her father is there in
um,
Hinesville or
in Savannah.
okay.
Um, I met her father in Florida.
Okay.
While I was in school there. Um, Shortly after I got pregnant, he was very toxic, very abusive to me.
Okay.
And the first instance that he put his hands on me,
Hmm.
he tried to punch me in the stomach while I was pregnant with her.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I immediately just was like, hey, come, I need to go. Can y'all grab me a bus ticket? I'm leaving tonight.
Okay.
And they did exactly that. They paid for a bus ticket for me to come back home.
Okay. Now, did you know he was toxic before you got in a relationship? Like, did you see the red flags? Any? Because a
No,
lot of times women, and we tend to see the red flags, but we ignore them. And you're a young woman. So, did you see any red flags?
I think I should have paid attention to the fact that he wasn't taking care of his first child that he had previously before
Okay.
me. And that was the only other sign. And the other indicator of you left to come all the way to Florida and left your child behind.
Okay.
It was weird. It was just
Okay.
very weird. And he was doing nothing.
So is that his baby? Is Jordan his baby? Okay. Okay. So you
My
left.
husband is her stepfather.
Okay. Got you. Got you. Okay. All right. So you're in this relationship. I guess he hit you and then you leave that night. You know what? I am so proud of you. And I'm proud of you because so many women stay. Like after the first hit, so many women will say, oh, well, he didn't mean it. And they make excuses for his actions. So, what was it in you that was like, I got to get the hell out of here?
It was just the fact that you tried to punch me in the stomach with our unborn child.
Okay.
That was just like a no-go for me. Like under any circumstances, like that was a no-brainer. Like, no.
Did he say he was sorry? Did he beg you not to leave? Like, what was that like?
He said he was sorry and he did beg me not to leave, but I wasn't hearing it.
Oh, wow. Tiffany says, I am emotional right now. I will go back and try to digest this. Pray for healing for this family. I wish my mommy was alive. We are forever bonded. Miss her sore. So, because of your non existent relationship um, with your mom, it triggered something in Tiffany because she lost her mom. So that's why she said that. Thanks, Tiffany, for chiming in. And thank you, Tawana. Tawana says good for you. And I'm assuming she said good for you because you left the relationship when the first time he hit you, you know. So did he beg you to stay? Like, what was that like?
He begged me to stay. Um, I honestly told him I'm not staying. Like, there's nothing you can say to actually make me change my mind to stay with you. I'm
Okay.
not doing it. I'm leaving. Um, you can say goodbye to me at the terminal to leave to go home, but that's about it. I'm done. I'm not coming back.
So did you leave all your clothes? Like, what was that like? You
No,
packed your
I
stuff?
packed my stuff. I packed my stuff and hit the road, Jack. I did not come back. Like, I was not playing. I grabbed my stuff and said, "No, this ain't happening. Not right here." Mm-mm-mm.
I love that. I love that. Again, because so many women, especially older women, we've stayed, you know, so
Mm-hmm.
kudos to you. Um, so what was that journey back to Georgia like from Florida while you're on the bus, I'm assuming?
I think that's when I finally let my emotions hit me. Um,
Okay,
I was immensely hurt at the situation, so I did cry.
okay,
I was angry. I was scared because I was 6 months pregnant and I didn't know what I was going to do.
okay,
I had no baby clothes, no stroller, no car seat, nothing.
okay,
I was not prepared to have this baby at all.
okay.
Um, where was I gonna go? It was a bunch of things rolling through my mind at that moment.
And God took care of you though, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
still taking care of you. And that's the amazing thing. But something that you said in the beginning, you said basically, and this is not word for word, that you appreciate your journey so that you can teach other young ladies. And it's so important as women and as men, but especially as women, that we go back and we tell the authentic story, not the fluff, not the foo-foo, not what we want or what we think people want to hear, but tell the truth and tell our truth because our truth really heals other people, you know. So I admire you for that. So how are you going to get into public speaking and being this motivational speaker? What is your way of trying to do that?
With the public speaking,
Hmm.
Mama Taylor's niece is actually involved with that.
Okay.
And I got to know her a little bit at the photo shoot. We exchanged numbers.
Okay.
And shortly after exchanging numbers, we actually talk every day on a daily basis. She actually
Oh,
texted me this morning to see how I
beautiful.
was doing. And she knows a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on, particularly that situation we actually spoke about in person.
Okay.
And she felt compelled to actually exchange numbers with me because she wanted me to explain that to other young ladies that she's speaking.
Affiliated with.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So when's your first speaking engagement?
I have no idea. Right now, with the holidays going on and COVID and
Oh,
everything else, everything's kind of been postponed and put on hold.
okay.
Um, but I am supposed to be working with her and Ty Taylor.
Okay. Who's Ty Taylor?
That's one of the girls from the actual group itself, the Taylor girls.
Okay.
They're
Okay. I'm
actually
gonna have to
sisters.
look them up.
They're sisters.
Okay. I gotta write this down, girl, because my mind be moving so fast, you know. Tiffany, if you're still on, write down the Taylor girls and inbox me, please, because I can't find my pen. Okay, so that's awesome. But the great thing is, I found my pen, that everything is virtual. And you would actually have more of an audience virtually. And I mean, not saying that people wouldn't come, but people from all over the world can come just by a click of a button. And that's the great thing about now. Like we can look at the glass half empty or half full, but I always look at it half empty. So, how are you going to brand yourself?
I have no idea. I haven't even thought that far yet.
Okay, okay. Well, I want you to start thinking, like, what are you going to deem yourself as? Like your brand and what are your topics? Are you going to start a nonprofit organization or are you just going to mentor young ladies that you know? So keep all those things in the forefront. But the crazy thing is, 26. How old was I when I was down there? Okay. She actually, Tawana, thank you. Tawana hit me up and said, look up the Taylor girls. Thank you, Tawana. I appreciate. Um, but yeah, just think about all those type of things and what your key topics are. Like I know abuse is one. How old were you when you had your first baby?
20.
20. So you weren't a teen mom, but you could say, you could speak to young mothers. So another area you could go into probably is like those homes for young moms, not necessarily teens, but some of them are teens and some of them are young, in, in that type of situation, and get your foot wet. Matter of fact, Tawana, she does things with young ladies as well. I haven't relaunched my program, but when I do, I'll have you as well. But see, you're gonna have to bring it, honey. But I know you will. And I have to say that you speak so eloquently. Um, you're totally not the young lady from back, and we've all changed. I've changed a lot too, but grower girl days. Like you're more calm, you're more relaxed. And I believe, and you can correct me, that you found your space.
I did. I found my niche. I found where I fit because this whole time I've lived my whole life feeling out of place.
Yes.
Like there was not a particular area that I belonged in. I've just realized that I belong in every single environment. How I adapt is different from everyone else. Everyone else thinks clockwise. I'm counterclockwise. I think the opposite. I still get to the same point,
Yes.
but it just takes me a little longer to get there than
I
like.
love it though. But if you look at the center of the clock on the 12, right?
Mhm.
And we both go this way. You're getting there at the same time, to be honest. You're just taking a different direction. And I love people who take a different direction. I connect more with people like you because you're different as I am and you're authentic. Like for you to answer some of the questions early on, you really didn't have to, but you're living in your authentic truth. And that's what I love because there's so many women, especially older women, who are afraid to live their authentic truth. Tawana says, just start talking short PSAs on every social media platform to touch millions of lives. Abuse, girl, let me put on my glasses. Abuse of any form is wrong. You have the ability to touch lives with small segments of firm advice. Something like choose you, not abuse. Oh, wow, that's powerful. You need to write that down. I'm going to write that down for you. Choose you, not abuse. Tawana, that's hot. That is hot right there. And Shaquila, that could be your whole niche, like your tagline. But you totally have the looks. She put all hearts in there. You have the looks. You have the communication skills. You have the beauty. You got it, honey. I'm proud to say that I was one of your mentors. And I have to say, regarding your mom, I get it. And I get it because toxic relationships only produce toxic relationships, and that you have to protect your mental, and keep yourself in a safe space. You can also talk about, and this just came to me, suicide prevention, since you've been down that road. So I have to ask you, why didn't you commit suicide? You tried, but you didn't succeed. So do you think that was purposely that you didn't succeed because you really didn't want to die and your attempt was a cry for help? Explain it to me.
I stopped actually trying.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody is spiritual or if anybody has ever had family come and visit them before, but my visitor was my great grandmother.
Okay.
And she came to me, and a lot of people will tell you that I look exactly like her. I know that I look like my father in my pictures, but
right.
I'm the spitting image of her. She came to me one night in my dreams while I was asleep, and she told me to follow her. And in the dream, she basically showed me what it would be like if I was to actually do this to myself.
Okay.
And what I would be taking away from everyone and how selfish of an act it would be to do so.
Okay.
And it wasn't a pretty picture.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want to destroy my family that way.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you didn't. I'm glad that you're still here. I'm glad that you fought through, because you've always been a beautiful young lady. You're a little different, a little spicy.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I love spicy. I think because I had my own situations back then, that you might have just been a little spicy at the time, but I really love you and I like you. And you've always been beautiful. But the interesting thing is, when we used to get those phone calls, I'd be like, what does she do now? Like, what does she do? But the fact is, you allowed us, and your grandmother allowed us to come into your space. And that's a beautiful place to be. And you're so phenomenal. So I'm hoping that every tool that you have that you use to save other people's lives. I think Miss Tawana gave you a really great tagline, you know, for you to be great. And I need you to consider to write a book. You know, that could be a part of your brand. Write your story. People still
That's
read.
not the time even somebody's even told me to do that. You're like the third person that said something to me.
Well, three times is confirmation. So maybe you need to, you know, just start journaling. That's how I started writing my book. Just start journaling and it'll come. You know, you can journal on paper, or you can journal and type. So, but consider that, you know, be a best-selling author. You got it, you know. So what would you tell other young ladies who are dealing with trauma, childhood trauma, PTSD, um, life, life, you know, parental issues, rejection? What would you tell them if you had a chance to talk? And Miss Tawana said, you have purpose here on earth.
Thank you. Um, the first thing I would say is I know it may not seem easy, and I know everything might seem like it's too much for you to handle or maybe to be too much on your plate, but you are not alone. There's plenty of other people out here either going through the same thing or something quite as similar as you. But you're not alone. You are not alone. Have faith and keep going. You can do it. Just fight. Fight as hard as you can. If you've got kids, keep going because they need you.
What about to the young lady or the young man that's being bullied because they're different?
They're gonna be mad when you grow up and you're successful and they not.
That's true. That's very true. So,
Your name is gonna be bigger than theirs and they're gonna be mad about it. It's okay, Pooh. Go ahead. It's okay.
I love you. I so do. I need to know, being a young woman, how's married life in 2020? Because things are coming at us in so many different directions. How's married life for a young woman?
Oh my God. It's been tough.
In which aspect?
Finances.
Okay.
It's been really, really, really hard. It's been tough because one minute we may be, everything may be perfectly fine, and the next thing you know, one of you gets hurt at work or one of you ends up sick. And it's
Okay.
like, well, what am I supposed to do now?
Okay.
Because there was a moment in time this year where he actually had gotten sick and he tested positive for COVID.
Sorry to hear that.
And I had to report that to my job. And we were both out of work for like a good month and a half.
How'd you deal with that?
Um, right after, I stayed out of work for a little bit longer
Okay.
and let him stack up his money because he actually makes more than I do.
Okay.
And the plan was to basically help him on the truck
Okay.
because he's a truck driver. He drives for semi trucks, and help him unload it as quickly as possible. Get him to this place, that place, that place, that place. Keep him motivated,
Okay.
hydrated. I pray over him at night. Like I was just there to keep him motivated and keep him encouraged because
Okay.
he got to a point where he just wanted to give up. And he was like, I can't do this.
Okay. How do you keep him motivated as a young woman? Like, most people don't know this stuff or teach this stuff. Like, how'd you do it?
I just told him he has to keep faith and keep praying. If I'm right here with you, I'm not going anywhere. Just because you don't have any money doesn't mean that I'm just gonna up and leave you. Just because you lose your job today might not, that's not gonna make me leave.
Okay.
He felt like I would leave him.
Did he feel like he was failing you as the husband?
Yeah. And I told him flat out, you're not failing me. You're doing what you can and I can see it.
Right.
You're doing what you can. You're not
That's
failing
nice.
me at all.
What kind of predicament are you guys in now? Are you okay?
We're good now. We're still trying to get the last few bills paid
Hmm.
before Christmas, hopefully.
Okay, okay.
But we should be fine by the new year. Everything should be back to normal, and it's gonna be okay. I know that for a fact. It's gonna be all right. We straight.
So look, as young people, I have to ask this. I haven't seen my 20s in like 25 years. Do y'all have sex all the time?
Um. Okay.
I'm nosy.
So
I'm nosy.
we no, it's fine. Um. We I don't know how to describe it because it's kind of like for like a couple months straight we'll go at it like rabbits, and then
Okay.
we'll break for like 2 or 3, and then we back at it again like rabbits. I don't know how to explain.
Okay, 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 okay. I just had to be all in your business, honey. I just had.
I mean, but our sex life is actually pretty great. It's good.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you have like the whole package. You're in school getting your education, you're married, you have your beautiful daughter, Jordan, you have family support. Um, yeah, I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you. You're modeling. You're getting ready to launch your speaking business. So I think that you're doing great, and I'm going to have to send you my phone number. So if you never need like encouragement or anything like that, I'm there. When you have your first speaking engagement, I'm there, cheering you on. Like, yes, I mentored her. Yes, she stayed at my house sometime. So I'm super duper proud of you. How can people get in contact you, and how can people cash app you if they decide?
um, I can leave my Cash App actually in the chat.
Okay, do that.
Um, how do I do it?
Mm,
I don't even know how to do it.
tell me how to do it. I mean, tell me what your cash app is.
It's Shay JA
Spell
94
SHA.
SHAY
Mm-hmm.
JA 94,
Okay.
and my email is it's my maiden name actually, so it's gonna be a little difficult. It's Shaquila Ramirez at iCloud.com.
Child. SHAQU.
ILA,
Uh-huh.
and then my last name RAMIREZ. I
RAMRIEZ.
RAMIREZ.
Okay. At
iCloud.com.
okay. .com. So somebody wants to hit you up for speaking, they can hit you up at that email address. We need to get you going, butterfly. So I want to say, oh, give them your Facebook page, baby girl.
My Facebook page is Keila Ellison, KEYLAHH. It's 2 H's at the end. And Ellison, ELLISON. If y'all want my Instagram, it's Jamaican_flame94.
I'm your friend on Instagram too. Okay. All right. So I want to say thank you for sharing your space and your energy with us and your information. And I hope that from this that you and we have saved a life together, especially you, especially with your communication and the things that you have gone through and changed someone else's life. So don't you go anywhere. I'm gonna take you off and I'm gonna do my thing and I'm gonna come back, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Yay! You were phenomenal. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get my picture. Let me get my picture of us. Wait a minute. This has been awesome. I have a new phone. There we go. Oh, look at my pretty girl. And you have to tell you, oh, wait a minute. You didn't do that. You got, all right.
I'm still the same. I'm still
And
the
you have
same.
to tell your grandmom that I said hello as
I
well.
will.
All right, hold on tight. Thank you, everyone that tuned in, that came in and out. I really appreciate, I'm sure Shaquila really appreciates, and I hope that you learned something. Um, Suicide is real, okay? Especially amongst young people and especially among young Black people. Cutting is real, okay? Cutting is real amongst young people, old people. Everyone's being affected, especially now during COVID with so many different things going on and the challenges that people are dealing with. But know to have faith and keep your faith, and reach out if you have any questions, any concerns. I will be glad to point you in the right direction. If you have not gotten 134 reasons you can't find a man, I suggest that you get it. Why? It will change your life. It is a journal. Also, I see you igniting hope and preventing suicide. That book is saving lives as well. Everything that I do is about empowerment, but I want to say thank you for gracing us with your presence on this evening. This has been a phenomenal show, very informative about mother-daughter relationships, about the importance of having a mentor in your life. We talked about suicide and cutting. So share this with your friends, your family, and anyone that you know that is going through any type of challenge at this time. So this is your girl, Sharon K. Griffin, aka Madam Butterfly. I appreciate you, and I know my special guest did. Have a blessed week.